got to separate, your own personal opinions from the principles of freedom of speech and civil liberties. I'm Jason Wilick and I go to Stanford University. Most of my work has been writing for the newspaper, writing columns. The most recent one is the Anscombe case at Stanford. So the Stanford Anscombe Society is a sexual integrity group. There are Anscombe societies, I believe, at Yale, at Harvard, at Princeton. They believe that marriage is the union until death between a man and a woman. They oppose abortion, they oppose divorce, they oppose same-sex marriage, they oppose hookup culture, sort of a socially conservative, traditional group. Very small minority on these campuses. They generally have a very small membership. The Stanford Anscombe Society decided to have a conference called Marriage, Family, and the Media, where they would, invite speakers to talk about their mission and so forth. Everybody said that this is an anti-gay event, and we can shut it down because it's hate speech. There were people who went to the student government and they said, I would feel unsafe if this happened, meaning that they would be offended. And sort of this huge outcry, and I was just appalled by the misunderstanding of basic principles on the part of the student government officials who then voted to revoke funding from the group, and all the people who spoke at the meeting saying basically, well, there's a difference between, free speech and hate speech. You can't have hate speech because we think that this is hate speech. We shouldn't have any event that would make any student feel unwelcome. I don't happen to agree with what this group is saying, but it's really a betrayal of all of our principles to coerce them and defund them for just having an unpopular opinion. At the Daily Cal, when I went to Berkeley before transferring to Stanford, one piece that I wrote was when the Black Student Union invited Louis Farrakhan, who's the president of the Nation of Islam, a very controversial figure with a history of making anti-Semitic comments. And they invited him to speak. The Jewish Student Union was outraged and started to meet with administrators to say, this event is unacceptable, and so forth. And I wrote, in defense of the Black Student Union, saying, he's not a good guy, but it would be a lot more dangerous to sort of force him off campus than anything he could possibly say on campus. He did come and he said terrible things. I'm personally Jewish, and I'm offended by his, anti-Semitic comments, but it's you've got to separate your own personal opinions from the principles of freedom of speech and civil liberties. FIRE's a really unique organization. I don't think it's like most political or advocacy nonprofits because people have such a wide range of opinions on so many things, and so there's so much. It has a lot of integrity in which cases it takes because it's not an ideological group. It's really an eclectic group of people with all sorts of different ideas and different viewpoints, but who believe in each other's rights to have, different ideas and different viewpoints. So I think it's just been a really great community to work with, and it's been really interesting to see it from the inside. When I go back to Stanford, I'll keep doing what I've been doing to the extent that I'll, be writing about these issues. I'll be keeping my eye out. I'm starting my own magazine, a political review magazine, and certainly there's going to be an emphasis on the types of things that FIRE cares about. I think the biggest difference is I'll just have a fuller knowledge of it after having had so much interaction with the staff and having read so many more cases.